Hello, and welcome. In this tutorial, we're going to look at sampling. The sampling feature in Reason version 5 lets you sample external audio, just like a traditional sampler. What's more, it also lets you sample any internal sound sources as well. Let's check out this song here. Here we have a redrum, one of the devices in Reason version 5 that features sampling. As you can see, the redrum has a sample button for each of the drum channels. These sample buttons can be used when you want to sample a sound straight into a device. The other devices that can sample are Kong, the NN19, and the NNXT. When you create a new empty song, it's automatically set up and prepared for sampling. Let's navigate to the hardware interface and flip the rack around. Here are the two sampling inputs. This is where you route the signals you want to sample. By default, audio inputs 1 and 2 are connected to the left and right sampling inputs. This makes it possible to sample external signals present on audio inputs 1 and 2 of the audio card. I'm going to sample sounds using a microphone which is connected to input 1 of my sound card. When you're going to sample in mono, you need to disconnect the right sampling input. Otherwise, the sample will be in stereo but contain audio only on the left channel. Now, let's flip the rack back again. As you can see, the left sampling level meter now lights up when I speak into the microphone. I also want to hear what I'm sampling, so therefore I activate monitoring. Now, let's adjust the audio input level a bit. As with all analog input levels, you have to adjust them at the source, in this case on the sound card preamp. To make it easier to see and adjust the input level, I bring up the big meter. Now, let's adjust the preamp to a good level without causing any clipping. Aim for a maximum level around -10 dB to be on the safe side. Okay, let's move down to the redrum. I want to assign my sample to channel 1 of the redrum, so therefore I'll use the channel 1 sampling button. There are two ways I can sample into a device. Either by clicking and holding the sample button for as long as I want to sample and then releasing the button. This is what we call one-click sampling. The other way is to click once, then sample, and then click again to stop sampling. This is the method I'll use here. Click the sampling button. Now, a waveform display shows up with a moving playhead. Okay, let's sample. Boom! And click the stop button. The sample shows up on the Song Samples tab in the Tool window and is automatically assigned to channel 1 in the redrum device. I can instantly play back the sample by hitting the channel 1 play button. As you can hear, the sample automatically plays back at the correct position, skipping the initial silent part of the sample. Very convenient. If I like, I can now edit the sample by double-clicking it in the Tool window. I can also right-click in the redrum channel display and select Edit Sample. This brings up the Edit Sample window where the sample is displayed. Here I can adjust start and end positions, crop, normalize, reverse, and loop the sample forward or back and forth. We'll get more into details about sample editing in a separate tutorial. Now, let's check out how we can sample audio internally from Reason devices. Sampling audio from Reason devices is great if you want to resample sounds with effects applied, for example. Let's say I want to sample a part of the entire mix of this song into an NNXT so I can trigger it from my MIDI keyboard. First, I need to go to the hardware interface and reroute the left and right outputs of the mixer to the left and right sampling inputs. Like this. Then, we go to the NNXT and unfold the remote editor. We click the sampling button and click play on the transport panel. Okay, that's enough. Let's connect the mixer cables back to where they were before we sampled. There. Now, the output signals from the mixer have been sampled into the NNXT and I can play it back from my MIDI keyboard. Okay, let's check how it sounds with the rest of the song. Yeah, interesting. So that's how you can sample in Reason. Easy as that.